Hi everyone, today I want to show you something about this little headphone here. This is the HiFiMan HE1000 Unveiled. So it is the current latest iteration of the HiFiMan HE1000 series. So if you're now wondering which versions were there before this headphone here, there was the normal HE1000, often called version 1 or V1, and the version 2, V2. And both of these have been discontinued since then. We also have the HE1000 Stealth here. And if that is not confusing enough, there's also the HE1000 SE. SE stands for Special Edition. You can see here a picture of it because I currently don't have my hands on them, unfortunately. But yeah, these are the different versions of this headphone lineup. Yeah, it's quite confusing, but now you have a quite little bit of an overview of the different versions that there are. So here we have now a headphone that goes currently for around $2,600 to $3,000 currently, depending on the offer. The HE1000 Stealth, so the previous version here, can be already found around $960 to $1,000 depending on offer. So before, when it was released, it did go for around $3,000 so they dropped in price quite significantly. So I'm wondering how this headphone here will actually compete to the previous version. So I would say let's get right into it. Just a little disclaimer before we directly start now. HiFiMan did send this headphone here to my channel for review purposes. So a big thank you to HiFiMan. But you can be rest assured that they never tell me what I can or cannot say here. They never influenced my opinion about them at any point in any way. So with this now out of the way, I would say let's get right into it and start the unboxing. So here we are with the HiFiMan HE1000 Unveiled package. So it directly comes in this leather case. So this time we don't have really this cardboard box style packaging. So this one comes in this leather case. So I would say let's open it right away. And here we are greeted with some text. So this headphone also has stealth magnets, as you can see here, a little information. And you have this warranty card. You also have a little book here this time. So you see here some stickers with the nanometer thickness diaphragm, stealth magnets, and the unveiled design. So for each one there's a little sticker. So let's check out the book itself. Okay, some pictures about it. Here you see a page tree of previous releases from HiFiMan, so which headphones there are. A message from the founder. So pause this video if you want to read it. Some more pictures and a little bit of information about the headphone and a little bit of information about the driver design and a little bit of information now about the magnetic covers and again about the diaphragm, a little bit of information and about the stealth magnets and yeah, in general, just general information about the headphones. So feel free to pause it. You also have here information about the headband, about the cables. It seems to come with 3 different cables. So about the ear pads also, and about the craftsmanship and the technical specifications. Headband adjustment, and how to replace the ear pads, and then also some information about the warranty, but yeah, we don't care about this right now. Okay, let's go to the exciting part now. Let's check out the headphones itself. So I guess here are the cables. All right, so here we have nicely sleeved cables, so not rubberized material cables. This one is the 3.5mm cable. Then you have also here an XLR cable that seems to be quite long. And last but not least, here's another cable with a 6.3mm. All right. These are the cables. So let's get out the headphones now. So let's unpack these out of these little pouches. All right, here we have them. They look quite, shiny. They have a little bit of a metallic texture to it. It doesn't feel like being a plastic. And you can even see here the driver through there. The clamp force is not that strong, but also not too loose. Here's the height adjustment. That's quite clicky and nice to do. Yeah, here you see the 3.5mm headphone jacks. You have here on the sides the little covers, I guess. Let's get them out as well. All right, so that's the covers. So you can just slip them on here and it seems to be magnetic. They have a nice finish to them. and they seem to be sitting there quite securely. All right, so I guess that is the headphones itself. All right, so here we are with the HiFiMan HE1000 Unveiled, now unpacked. So the first question you might ask yourself now is, what is the main difference between this headphone here and the older version, the Stealth version? The main difference you may have already spotted is that it has this little cover here. And as you can see here, you can directly look into the magnetic structure of the headphone. So they remove the dust cover and the grill to have a fully exposed design that you can and should cover with this magnetic covers. So if you're not using them, use the covers please, because if you're not careful with this headphone here, or you have a kind of messy desk or something, or you just toss it, it can potentially happen that if you have something metallic, small on your table, it can get sucked into the magnets and pinched through the diaphragm and rendering your headphones useless. So please be careful with that. Use the covers when you do not need it. So if you're now worried, maybe seeing that, can I even touch that? How should I put that on? If you're somebody like that, I can tell you, rest assured, you can touch the driver here. You can touch the magnets. It is fine. It is just becoming a problem if you have something very slim, sharp, that goes between these magnets, pinching through the diaphragm. Then yes, that is a problem. But just touching it like that will not damage them at all. So yeah, I did have my fair share of touching them like this, and they did not break. So let's come to the build quality itself now. So this headphone here is quite alike than the previous iterations of the X-shaped HiFiMan headphones. It is also quite alike than you see here the Aria Unveiled. The main difference between these is that here it was used a glossy plastic material that is quite fingerprint prone, and here you have a little bit more of a metallic feel to it. So this one here actually feels to me a little bit more premium in this regard. Otherwise, you have the same headband style, a suspension headband that is quite comfortable to wear. At least to me, I can wear this headphone for hours, also because it's not that heavy. It is height adjustable quite easily like this, sliding up and down. You have nice cup rotation as well, so they fit quite nicely on my head. The ear pads here are replaceable and nice and plushy, while having a pleather material at the outside, a nylon material at the inside. And as you can maybe already see, you can spot the driver here. If you're now somebody with shorter hair, curly hair or something, and you're worried that your hair might pinch through here to the driver, I wouldn't worry too much, because there's a little fine net between here. Maybe you can see that. But otherwise, this headphone here is very comfortable to wear. Something you need to be aware of is with this large X-shaped HiFiMan headphones is that if you wear these headphones like this, you can see that it goes quite low. So if you have a smaller head, you will not have the greatest seal. But otherwise, this headphone here is one of the most comfortable headphones to wear. So this headphone here comes with, this time, 3 different stock cables. So one is a single-ended 1.5 meter long 3.5 millimeter jacked cable, and another single-ended 3 meter cable with a 6.3 jack on it, and a balanced cable that is 3 meter long with an XLR connection, you see here. All cables are sleeved like that, have a little bit of a nylon material feel to it. The stock cables are okay. You can use them if you want to, but if you want to have something better feeling or better, it is easily possible, because this time as well they have the normal standard ports, 3.5 millimeter headphone jacks here, so you can use any aftermarket cable that you want to take. So yeah, that is quite nice. So the covers of the headphone here have a quite metallic touch to them. The magnetic force here is strong enough to stay here quite securely. I mean, if I take this headphone now here and shake them, they will not fall off like that. But I wouldn't want to carry it like this, for example, on them. But otherwise, they're quite securely on there. So if you're maybe somebody who was wondering, hey, since this magnetic covers would turn my open back headphone into a closed back headphone, right? I can tell you, sorry, this is not really the case. Since this headphone here absolutely sounds horrible if you use the covers on. This is really not intentional to use with the covers. So if you really want to listen to good music, take the covers off and scrap the idea of having an open and enclosed back headphone all in one. This is sadly not the case here. So about drivability, this headphone here has 28 ohms of impedance and a sensitivity of 95 dB. So it is not that hard to drive. It already sounded pretty good on the HiFiMan HE1000, for example. But when using, for example, a higher-ended DAC amp, for example, the Burson Conductor GT4 Deluxe I have here, it scaled up just a little bit in regards to soundstage and bass performance. But it was not the biggest difference, so don't worry too much about it. But what I recognized is that this headphone here is a little bit more amp and DAC friendly than, for example, the previous version, the HiFiMan HE1000 Stealth. Not to say that this headphone here is hard to drive or very amp picky or DAC picky. This is not the case, but this one here had a tendency to run pretty good or pretty nice on warmer gear, like for example air-to-air DAC chips in there. So because most HiFiMan headphones have a tendency to be quite bright, and for some people that are sensitive, it can be a little bit too much sometimes, depending if you have also a brighter DAC amp you're using, like for example the Burson Conductor GT4 Deluxe I have here and I have used with it, is a little bit more bright, and it was not that pleasant with this headphone here, but this one here didn't have any trouble with that one. So, alright, so let's come to the sound itself now. How did the HiFiMan HE1000 Unveiled sound to my ears? So if maybe you're somebody who thinks now, hey, they just removed this cover here, changed the design just a little bit, but the inside is the same. I don't really think so. I think they changed the tuning here quite a bit. To my ears, this headphone here is more detailed than the previous version by a little bit. The treble area is more smooth in comparison, so less sparkly and hot, I would say. Not to say that the Stealth version is unpleasant. This one here has a smoother treble than, for example, the HiFiMan Aria Stealth that is quite bright and can be fatiguing to some people. But in comparison between these two, this one here has a little bit of a smoother treble. Something that also is a little bit different here is that the bass here is very precise and defined, but it feels to have just a little bit less slam, a little bit less impact to it in comparison to the Stealth version. So this one here did slam a little bit harder in comparison. In regards to soundstage, this Unveiled version does sound just a little bit wider and open for sure. So the soundstage itself, like where sounds are coming from, where objects are placed, is very precise and realistic, I would say. So I quite enjoyed using this headphone in this regard. But since this is just my own opinion, my own 2 ears and how I perceive this headphone, I recorded the sound coming out of this headphone with binaural microphones, so you can actually give it a listen yourself and decide on your own and how you like this headphone, what the differences are between these two, for example, and make your own opinion about that. The only thing I ask you please at this point is, if you can, to wear headphones, because it becomes more easy to spot the small differences between these two. And with this now, I would say let's get right into it and start the sound test.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head, I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test. I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Alright, so that was the little sound demo. Let me know in the comments down below how you found the sound performance of the Unveiled version, also how it compared to the Stealth version, to your ears. I guess we are now quite finished with the short review. I hope you've liked it and you found it helpful. If you did, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button, support me a bit, so I can keep on going with reviews for you. And yeah, I guess I see you next time. Ciao, ciao!